Hey.
There we go.
Good.
How's it going?
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. Yeah, I hope the whole time zone thing wasn't too
No, no,
confusing.
it was okay. I wasn't too sure. Yeah, just Mikhail works evenings, so he just couldn't do it. But
That's all right. Glad to see you at least.
yeah, I'm here, so it's okay.
All right. I want to start from the very beginning and ask why you guys decided to start this band.
Why we decided to start it? Okay. Well, I was playing a show in a band, and it was one of those things. We played a show, and someone from the another band we were playing with, like, came up to me after the show and was like, I really dig your drumming. Do you listen to a lot of 90s hip hop? And I was like, yeah, but the band I was in, I don't know how he would have been able to pinpoint that. I mean, at least in my mind, I didn't think. And it was Mikhail, and I had never met him before. And he kind of came up and was really enthusiastic and was like, and me being a big hip hop fan, he was telling me that he used to do beats and was a DJ before he joined a band. And I was like, I would love to be a part of something like that. And he was like, yeah, and I want it to be heavy drums and I want to do something with drums. So we had met. It was just one of those like weird meetings. And he seemed like a cool guy. So I'm always pretty adventurous in collaborating. I love to do it. So I was like, sure, let's try it. And it took a while, actually, kind of for us. Like that was in I want to say like 2013. But I was playing in other bands, and I play in a lot. Like I do. Anyway, so that ended up happening. So he had his own project, and that was cool. And we had done stuff, and then finally one day he's just like, I think I got the idea for the band we need to do. It just took a while, and then it was like, okay, let's try it. And then funny enough, the people we added in the band, but as luck would have it, were people who were in the band I was playing with that show that I met him, like totally not by design. So it was a nice kind of like full circle kind of thing. And I think it was just, I play in a lot of like stoner rock bands, or have and do, or stuff that's considered in that genre. I love the genre, but I always think it's like, I wish, like Sleep made one of the best albums, and there's all these incredible bands that like did it in stoner rock. And I think with us, we were just kind of like, it'd be fun to experiment more what you could do with the genre, I guess. Like I've always been a fan of like people who go against type, and like when you see a band and then they sound something so completely different than when you're expecting, it's like, it's like probably one of my favorite things to see, where you see like people get on stage and you're like, I wonder what this is like. You think you know what it's going to sound like, and then you do. It's why I don't like photos in albums either. I don't like to see what a band looks like. I don't want to know. Like, you know what I mean? Because you have a preconceived notion sometimes, and it's kind of nice when you don't. There's a little bit of mystery with it. Anyways, that being said, that's like, we just decided like we wanted to just like have a fun band, and where there was like most bands, like there's no rules. It ends up always sounding like us, I think. So, but we try and like incorporate as much as we can. There's really no bad ideas in this band. If it doesn't work, it just doesn't work.
Cool. And I have a question that kind of ties into what you're saying. I
Sure.
read that your band name actually came from a Public Enemy song. And I did look up what cold lamping means, but I figured I'd
Right.
ask because you guys added the extra M. Is there
Yeah.
a definition for lamping with two M's for you guys?
No, we wanted to have a name that kind of had that, like, we just didn't want to have like a witch or a black, or like there's just like when you're having heavy band names, there's always like things. I've always been a fan of one word bands and no thes, and I don't know, just so we were thinking like maybe we could find something that's like in the more hip hop world, but like we were, for some reason that one just like stuck. I don't know. It's like Lamping, and then totally forgetting that there's a whole Curb Your Enthusiasm episode that actually it's about that word, which I totally had forgotten about. And then the extra M was just to give it like a, just our own spin on it. Like when we spelt it, I'm like, oh, it would look, maybe with an extra M, it would look better. And a friend of mine said it, like, he was like, oh, it sounds like an early garage band name, which I didn't get. So I was like, okay, then that's two things we like a lot. Like, so it worked. Yeah, it was just, naming bands is like the worst. It's the worst thing to do on earth, I think. because you're consistently like, is this been taken? Is this good? And then people always shorten your name anyway. So I find it's always good to have like a short, concise. If you have a long name, it's cool, but it's just like, it's always like, it turns into an acronym or it's just the first syllable sound. So trying to find something short. And it kind of, I felt like it reflected the music a bit, you know? And once you're done with a name, people are used to it. Even if they like it or not, they don't care after that. So
True. So now you guys are coming out with a new EP called Stars We Lost. And I want to ask you what you would say the EP is about.
Well, what it's about, I mean, I don't write the lyrics. That's kind of more Mikhail's zone. I think it's just about, I mean, the title was just that, like, Mikhail was like, he was at the grocery store and like, you know, when they have like the In Touch or the People magazine, and it was just like, he just saw the title. It's like, it was like for celebrities who died, and it just was like Stars We Lost this year. Like, you know, they do that every year. And I was just like, wow, that's actually like, I like just naming something and people can figure out what the need. Like, there's no, like, I like when it's like, if you want to take something from it, that's cool. Like, that's amazing. I don't think there was any thought past it. Like, I just thought it, like, it looked cool and it sounded cool in my mind. But I think but I guess what I think we just, with what we do, we're just trying to throw, it's basically like a throw everything at the wall idea. And like, we want to have it kind of like a collage album. I don't know. Sorry, I'm trying to figure, I wish I could have a better answer for this, because I'd really like, I don't want to talk to what like Mikhail writes about kind of thing. I know there's some themes on this record he was saying that like really speak to his experience as like a first generation Canadian, like moving here when he was in his teens. So he has a really interesting outlook on that. And he's really good. He's a good writer. He's a simple, like he's good with his wordplay. And so unfortunately I'd have to defer to him for a lot of that. But I think we're just trying to make fun music. That's really what it, you know, music is fun, right? So
awesome. I know you guys already released one song from it called Everlasting More. And I figured I'd ask, what can we expect from the rest of the EP? Is it going to be similar, or?
This, I would say that we've made, like, this is our third release now in 2 years. So the first two records kind of had had a thing. This one that we tried a couple of different things. Like, there's more like quieter songs, and like it's a fun patchwork of you know what we do and our influence. And we're always trying to throw more into the pot. Like Matt Aldred in the band, like he has a song on the new record where he just sings and he wrote it. So everything's like, there's a bunch of stuff. Like I found samples for this record that Mikhail used. So we kind of throw everything into what we do, and it kind of goes through Mikhail's editing brain process, and it comes out the other side. So it sounds like Lammping. I don't know.
Do you find it's easier to write an EP or an album?
Well, the funny thing is, like, we've been really lucky in the sense that, like, we kind of started as a band right when we were ready to go as a band. Like, we played one show in January 2020, and then obviously stuff happened. But we had agreed to do our first record by that point, and the second record we did was a patchwork of other stuff. And this EP my friend Eric was like, "Do you want to do a release with us?" With his label, We Are Busybodies. So we've been kind of like making albums for labels as they request them, which is a really fun way to work. And I've never really done it that way before. So it was easy. I mean, we've already started recording the next stuff. Like, we're always, and also with the fact that like there's no shows, and it's actually been a benefit for us, because we just are like, oh, we'll just make more music, I guess. And it's you know, in this day and age, you can do it a bit easier. Like, if you want to just put one song out, you can do that now, and people can hear it. So yeah, I mean, we have to still make our album yet. Like, you know, we haven't really made our proper record start to finish yet that we've had in our head. So it's always like something else comes along, which is fun. So yeah, an EP is fun. I mean, you know, it's 18 minutes of music. I think that's good. I think shorter is better these days. I mean, I love a great, you know, hour-long epic album, but I think sometimes for the listener, you know, give them 18 minutes. That's enough, you know. We're not taking too much time out of your day.
Yeah. ask, it's kind of a random question, but Valentine's Day is coming up. So I figured I'd ask, what's your favorite love song?
Oh wow, my favorite love song. One of my favorite love songs, and it's not. I think because the sentiment is so like it's kind of a revenge love song, but I love "I'm Gonna Tear Your Playhouse Down" by Ann Peebles. I don't know if you know that song. It's like a Southern soul song from like the early '70s. She was on High Records, and it's just basically it's just about a woman who's like the title says, she's gonna burn her, she's gonna burn her mate's playhouse down. It's great. It's one of my favorite because it's so descriptive, and I guess it's a love because that has passion, right? I don't know. Those are my favorite type of love songs. Those. I mean, I like a sappy one too. Don't get me wrong, but those are that one has there's a bite to it, so it's pretty fun.
Oh, worth checking out. And my last question is, what's next for you guys?
What's next for us? Well, we're going to put this album out March 4th. Stars Are Lost on We Are Busy Bodies. And there's another single coming out, I think, before the album is out. And then we're just going to keep plugging away. We had a show and it's being moved. I don't know. I guess in BC. I don't know what the thing. You're in BC, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So we, like in Ontario, there's been obviously shutdowns. And now it seems about, I think as of March 14th, things are like now going to be 100% open again. I mean, bearing everything goes well. So stuff's like moving around. So I think we have a show coming up at the end of March now, but I don't know. And then, yeah, I'm going in, like, we're going to record some more stuff this week and, piecemeal it and see who wants stuff and who doesn't want stuff, and we'll just keep making music, I guess, and if people want to listen to it, that's great. We're into that.
Awesome. Thanks for chatting with me.
Oh, no problem. I hope that was